like facilitating team meetings, and which is something
Mm.
that every manager ends up having to do at some point. And I think one of the things I really struggled with in one of my previous roles was, having this whole room of, little baby birds waiting to be fed. And, what has she got to say? And it was like, feeling the pressure, like I was supposed to perform and be this amazing facilitator, and every week, and it when I didn't feel like I had anything to say, or it's like nothing has changed since the last time we talked. So let's all just go back to our desk and get have some time back. And it was yeah, some of that, translating some of that skill into just how you keep the wheels turning in the team.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Team meetings are a bit of a thing with me. So, um, I think a lot of the challenge of team meetings as well is that we bring people, especially whether it's online or in person, we bring people into a space and then we just fire things at them. And a lot of people don't like that and they can't process it and they can't ask questions. And then you get a senior leader who's like, presented that new strategy and none of your team had any questions. I'm like, because they didn't have time to digest it. So one of the rules I have for myself is that if I'm introducing something that's like a document or like a strategy, whatever, I circulate it in advance. We've got this weird feeling sometimes that we have to like, they're not going to want to look at the detail, they won't read it. Some of them won't. I'm going to present it as if they haven't read it, but others need that time to like have that digestion of the material in advance to kind of prepare their questions. Um, but also I like to make sure that team meetings have like a standardized structure to some extent so that people get comfortable with them and more encouraged to actually share in those spaces. So in a team I work with, we had a principle of like three 15 minutes blocks that made up the 45 minutes of the team meeting, um, successes to share, challenges that we need help with, and then some development time. And it was just a micro development session at the end of every team meeting to really stay on top of things. And it could be someone sharing learning from a conference or a bit of formalized training, or it could be, like uh, something a bit random, like something that's going on at the university, like SU brought in or get someone from a team to talk about a tiny bit of their specialist work that they do. And it normalized not only so everyone felt comfortable, they knew what the rhythm was going to be, but also teams meetings are a really underappreciated space for allowing people to build their confidence in doing public speaking, in sharing their ideas, in showcasing their expertise in communicating ideas. And it's such a good testing ground. But if it's built into the habit, like everybody does it and people rotate around it, it becomes comfortable and it helps them bridge into those spaces where they might have to do a formal presentation. If you're used to doing like 5 or 10 minutes, just like talking your team through how you do something with 2, 3 slides that you put together, it's really great, like building blocks. So yeah, I have a passion about team meetings.
I think if I was going back to managing a team now, I would also rotate making them come up with the agenda and chair the meeting because I think that it's in a really similar way. It's such a useful skill. And if you can do it with a friendly audience and get feedback, then when you come to facilitate or chair a meeting or, have to come up with an agenda for something with a more high um high stakes situation, having had that practice and feedback locally with friends and peers and colleagues that are going to give you good, helpful feedback is really valuable.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you have to build up to that in some ways. Like you kind of got to assess that. If you go in as a team manager, it's a new team, you kind of need to see what their current dynamics and relationships are as to where you can start with that. Because again, you need to do that, create those spaces for the quieter voices, create some of that structure. And you might need to help, like, there are team members who are really anxious or nervous to do that kind of thing. And I'll be like, okay, well, in a one-to-one practice with me, show me what you're going to do, we can do it together. I don't mind co-presenting something when someone's specialist to help, help them bridge that gap. But it makes it more engaging for you as a manager as well if you're not just there like doing school assembly
Yeah,
um,
that's what
without
it's
the
true.
without the songs.
Yeah, the songs and the hand motions. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah, something else to remember too, especially if you're, coming into a new team, or needing to, you feel like you're filling someone else's shoes, you might be coming into an established way of doing things that doesn't fit for you, that if it feels wrong to try and carry on the way the team are used to it, it would be a lot more authentic to go, okay, we're gonna shift, shift this into something I can deliver as myself and not feel like I'm trying to parody the person who was in this role before me. And I guess trying to work out what people really valued about the other format and then bringing some of that with you into the new. She says, having not successfully done that in the role I'm thinking of, whereas I was just so intimidated by it all, I just canceled the meetings because I couldn't cope with them. It was far too stressful to try and, to do the song and dance for 20 people staring at you every day, every week, and it wasn't the right approach. So I'm glad I shifted
Yeah,
gears, but while I was trying to emulate my predecessor, it really didn't work for me. And it took me a while
yeah.
to work out what wasn't working and do something different.
And that's it. You can try different things. Like it's if you try a format and it doesn't work, you can say to the team, we'll try a few different formats. Let's get comfortable, find one that works for us as a team. Like you don't have to be perfection on day one. And you have to work with the team that you've got and the space that you've got, the timing, the structure, the context. It's going to be unique.
Yeah.
I know the sort of original brief was about sessions, sort of, not necessarily team meetings, but kind of other like
Mm.
idea generating sessions. And I would say it is something I really enjoy when clients come to me and go, I need to facilitate a thing. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm like, oh, great. Okay. So it's something I really like to play with and kind of help, think through some of the like what would work for you well here. And there's a
Mm.
book that I have on my bookshelf downstairs from, I think it's called The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker.
Mm.
It's a good book to think through things like what are optimum numbers for different types of meetings and formats and approaches and how do you create that comfort with people and that kind of stuff. It's a good book if
Nice.
anyone's
Sounds good.
considering.
Sounds good. I think
That's
we've
a great note to end on.
brainstormed we've brainstormed
Yeah.
loads of good suggestions there. So thanks guys. We'll see you next
Thank you.
time.
See you next time.
Bye.